Right, guys, welcome back to another Scottish football recap show. Some midweek action here on
Six games, brother.
Wednesday, the 27th
Push for your
of
bottom.
January. All 12 teams in action. So I don't know when are Celtic playing these games in hand?
One at the weekend.
Well, they'll fucking get, hopefully not playing Livingston. It'll be another pishy draw. But anyway, 12 teams in action, and yeah. So obviously we'll talk about it. Not a lot to talk about really. A lot of score lines. Well, not a lot of score lines, but a lot of results kind of went how you expected them to go. I can't say there was any major, apart from one. There was one major shock, and I think that's what we'll start off with. So, Dundee United 1, St Mirren 5. Now,
Woo!
I don't know who's seen this coming. I mean, perhaps I'm not saying St Mirren winning's the shock of the century, but to win by 5 goals to 1 is a pretty big scoreline.
Unless you're old firm team.
Yeah, it's not often. Was I not saying this the other day? How often do you see like a 4-0 or something like that? Or I know this is 5, but it's still a 4.
Well, Ross County won 4-1.
I know, but it's very unlikely. You know what I mean? Unless it's an old firm that you see these kind of scorelines. So St Mirren as well. I thought just played in the Scottish League Cup semi-final. I thought they'd have been
pish
away from home. For some reason, Dundee United are always good odds with the bookmakers at home. They're always like 5-2, 3-1. Not even Hamilton or nowhere near. See when Hamilton's at home against a team that's like some.
You know what that is? We don't give a fuck about the Scottish Premiership. They're newly promoted. They must be pish.
It must be because see if Hamilton were against St Mirren, they'd be favourites.
Damn right.
They would. I don't know why. See Hamilton when they're at home against like a team that isn't top 6 or like 11-10. But Dundee United are actually top 6 in the table, and for some reason they're always good prices at home. I mean, they're like against St Johnstone there, they were 3-1. Remember, like not so long ago. You wouldn't get Hamilton 3. So I don't know why that is. But anyway, St Mirren with the 5 goals. Goals coming from Shaughnessy, McGrath got two penalties. Connolly and Dennis.
Could be a wee info.
Harks got the goal for Dundee United. And what I found was strange here was all 5 nationalities for St Mirren that scored the goals were Irishmen. So I mean that was a wee bit weird. I don't know if that's ever been done before in the Scottish Premiership, and I can't see it ever been done again.
Maybe Royce Keane scored 5.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say he didn't. Like,
probably had fucking more appearances.
I just thought that was weird. But anyway, Jim Goodwin seems to be doing well at St Mirren. He says he thinks St Mirren can target a top 6 finish. And under current form, I mean, I don't see why not. It looks like obviously Rangers are going to win it. Probably Celtic will come second. Then you've got Aberdeen and Hibs. Livingston at this stage look like they're only moving up, so I can't see them falling below 5th, but that 6th place in my opinion is up for grabs. Dundee United I think currently occupy it, or maybe they don't after tonight.
They do.
Well, they still do.
They've loads of games played extra though.
But I definitely could see St Mirren finishing in that top 6 place, and fair play to them. Meanwhile, in Edinburgh, Morelos stamped his authority on Hibernian. More specifically on Ryan Porteous, with a horror stamp in the first half. Well, I mean, it wasn't really horrible, but I mean the intent was clearly there, and it should be a red card. I mean, this is something you probably wouldn't. I mean, we say what you get away with 20 years ago. You probably wouldn't have got away with this 20 years ago. So how Morelos is getting away with it now, I honestly don't understand. But he did get away with it in the first half, and then he came on to obviously make up for it, and you get the goal in the second.
Scored a few more.
Should have been sent off though, so I can see why Hibs fans will be annoyed. Another below.
I can't the fucking pish. Didn't do enough to win the game.
Another below par for performance for Rangers. They weren't good in this game at all. First half, Hibernian were the better team. Probably should have had the lead going into the break, but second half, Rangers came into it a bit more. Hibernian pretty much created nothing. I don't know what Jack Ross, I don't know what team talk he did at half time.
It didn't work.
It's kind of similar to the Scottish Cup semi-final. I mean, what is he doing at half time?
Shitting the cornflakes? Fuck, he must be doing something pish.
I don't know.
He's garbage. I don't rate the guy. Good, decent start to the season, but where'd he come from?
It's like Hibs seemed to start well, but second half they go to shit. Doesn't make any sense to me. Like anyway, Rangers did, start well. Second half obviously got the early goal through Morelos. Then Morelos, like a couple of minutes later, has a great chance about 6 yards out and he completely mishits the ball. It goes
And then
wide.
another chance over the top. Could have finessed it.
The goal, though, the goal that Morelos scored, Ryan Porteous, I mean, the defending was just awful. Awful for Ryan Porteous. And, I mean, I don't rate this guy. I really don't.
Nope.
Called up to Scotland. Hopefully he's not fucking starting for Scotland, because if he defends like this, then we won't be in the Euros for any longer than 3 games. Awful for him. His defending was poor all night, but Morelos was poor as well. He had multiple chances. He had one where he was onside, and he took about 10 years to bring the ball down, and then he ended up.
I think he thought he was offside.
He ended up losing it there. So I mean, that wasn't good. Hibs had a couple of crosses into the box late on, but they couldn't get the goal, and Rangers see a 1-0 win. And that moves them, I believe, into 72 points or whatever.
Yep.
And it looks like they're going to. I think Rangers are on for setting a record here in the Scottish Premiership. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the current. The current total's 34 wins and 4. So I think they need to win every game.
4-1. They get a 4-1 draw.
A draw would mean the tie.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, they're not going to do that, surely. But anyway, up next. It was Celtic, and they managed to get another win at home, this time against Hamilton. And really, I mean, it shouldn't be anything other than a win when you're against Hamilton. Hamilton Academical. I don't know how they're still hanging about in the league, but they are, for some reason. They're still there. But every year they seem to stay. This could be the year they go, perhaps. Who knows? But anyway, Celtic took the lead 12 minutes in through Lee Griffiths. And then not a lot happened. I mean, they did double their lead shortly into the second half when Edouard got the goal. But I mean, when you take an early lead against Hamilton, I really expected Celtic to go on and win this 4-5-0.
Like they usually would.
Minus 3 goals, they were 65. So obviously, I think the bookmakers were expecting that as well. But it didn't really happen.
Nope.
And albeit it's a win, it's not a convincing win. It's just shit, really. But at least they get a win. Their first win of 2021. It feels a bit weird saying that, considering we're almost through January already. But Celtic did get the win, and it doesn't keep them within touching distance of Rangers. But I don't know. I guess it puts them further ahead of Aberdeen.
Put it this way, right?
Who are in third
Celtic's
place.
result was irrelevant. They were all dependent on if Rangers get beat by Hibs or not.
I think you can make a case that Celtic wouldn't win the league if Rangers don't even play another game. I think that's a fair case to make.
Yep, but
I see them struggling to get 72 points. But anyway, they got the win here, so maybe Neil Lennon saves his job for another couple of weeks until Rafa Benitez comes in and take it. If those stories are true, who knows? They might be true, they might not be.
Yes, and there are 3 other games to get through, and we'll kick off with the most boring one. St Johnstone 0, Aberdeen 0. Aberdeen fucking depressed me, right? They just... McKinn's out, I'm sick of it. They're just fucking pish.
Aberdeen have a legit chance, in my opinion, of getting second place this year. Ain't going to happen, though, with draws away to home against St Johnstone. So, I thought Aberdeen would have won the night, but...
No, but I'm not being funny, right? Where is the ambition of, Aberdeen and Hibs?
See Aberdeen, right? In fairness, they don't lose often against non-old firm sides, but they don't win enough if they want to make that next step.
Yeah.
It's almost as if, well, you know what? A draw away from home is a good result. Whereas that's not how Rangers and Celtic would look at it, a draw against St Johnstone, but I think Aberdeen's a totally different mindset. And like I said, I didn't feel like Aberdeen would lose tonight. I actually had them +1 because I was convinced they'd get a draw, but again,
bag bet, by the way,
never really felt like they'd win either.
And they did. Next up, though, we have got Ross County against Motherwell. Motherwell defeat them 2-1 up in Dungwall, brother.
Ross County could be in major trouble. Will they be one of the teams to go down? They could be. And in the last game, Livingston continue their impressive form.
Get your money. Livingston finishing 3rd.
Could happen, guys. Could happen. Livingston will I believe that's 12 games now undefeated in the Scottish Premiership in a row. And means the league table looks like that. Rangers still lead the way. Celtic in second place. But Aberdeen only have a 3-point lead over Hibernian with a game in hand. And their lead to Livingston is 8 points. With the form Livingston's in, I don't think there's any reason Livingston can't catch Aberdeen. 8 points ain't a lot. And remember, when you get to the split, the top teams are all playing each other. There's a lot of points to be gained if you can, win those matches. So I think Livingston could make a dash here for the top of the table. And meanwhile, at the bottom, Hamilton's still stuck in last place, 1 point behind Ross County, but they do have 2 games in hand. Albeit Hamilton 2 games in hand for them doesn't mean as much because they don't really expect them to pick up points, but who knows, maybe they can. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for the Scottish Cup, Scottish football review. Till next time.
Peace.